Right, so on slide 28, we are looking at a new type of elasticity called income elasticity of demand. And what is this? This measures the responsiveness of demand to a change in income. So when income change, how does demand respond? It enables us to predict how much the demand curve will shift given changes in income. So income elasticity measures the responsiveness of demand to a change in income. On slide 29, we'll see how to calculate income elasticity. And the formula for income elasticity is percentage change in quantity demanded over percentage change in income. And we know how to calculate percentage change. New minus old over old times 100. Now a good is income elastic if income elasticity is greater than 1. So we interpret it in the very same way we interpret price elasticity of demand. So when the elasticity coefficient is greater than 1, it's elastic. If it's less than 1, it's inelastic. And so the interpretation is the same as we would have interpreted previously. So on slide 30, we're seeing that a good is income inelastic if elasticity is between 0 and 1, which means it's less than 1. And the quantity demanded rise less than the change in income. So if it's income elastic, a change in income will bring about a greater change in quantity demanded. If it's income inelastic, a change in income will bring about a smaller change in quantity demanded. So for example, if income rise by 10%, demand will rise by 6%, which means the rise in demand is smaller than the change in income. Right? Now, goods which are income elastic and income inelastic are said to be normal goods. So normal goods are goods that have income elasticities of elastic and inelastic. What is a normal good? A normal good is a good for which when income increase, you buy more of that good. So in a normal good is a good for which when income increase, we purchase more of that good. So normal goods they tend to have income elasticity and income inelasticity. Now, if income elastic is less than 1, the commodity is said to be an inferior good. So if we get your elasticity coefficient to be less than 1, then we are talking about an inferior good. An inferior good is a good for which when income increase, you buy less of that good. So for example, ramen noodles, I would say is an example of an inferior good. If your income increase, you buy less ramen noodles. We are on to slide 31, which would examine some of the determinants of income elasticity of demand. And the major determinant of income elasticity is the necessity of a good. Now, in developed economies, the demand for luxury goods increase rapidly if income increase, whereas the income for basic goods will only increase by small proportions. So luxury goods have a high elasticity of demand because when your income increase, you tend to buy more of these goods, whereas goods such as vegetables have a low elasticity of demand. So if it is your income increase, you're not going to buy a lot more vegetables. So it has a low elasticity of demand. Whereas if it is your income increase, you might buy more luxury goods like jewelry, etc. Right? We are now moving on to slide 32. And we will look at the last type of elasticity, which is cross elasticity of demand. And cross elasticity is the measure of the responsiveness of demand for one product to the change in the price of another product. How does the demand for one product respond when there's a change in the price for another product? How does the demand for KFC respond when there's a change in the price of Royal Castle? How does the demand for Moo milk respond when there's a change in the price for Nestle milk? So it's looking at the responsiveness of demand for one good to the change in the price of another good. And that good must be a substitute or complement good. And when we say substitute, it means we'll be able to substitute one for the other. Complement good means it goes hand in hand. For example, coffee and creamer. Now, it enables us to predict how much the demand curve for one product will shift if there's a change in the price of another product. And like I said, that product has to be a substitute or complementary good. Now, let's look at the formula on slide 33 for cross elasticity of demand. Cross elasticity of demand, the formula is percentage change in the quantity demanded of good A over percentage change in the price of good B. Percentage change in the quantity demanded of good A over percentage change in the price of good B. And we know how to calculate percentage change. New minus old over old times 100. So we're looking at the change in the demand for good A when there's a change in the price of good B. So if Royal Castle price were to increase, how does that impact the demand for KFC? If the price of Moo milk were to increase, how does that impact the demand for Nestle milk? Now, if two goods are substitute, then A's demand will rise as B's prices rise. So if you have substitute goods like Moo milk and Nestle milk, when the price of one rises, the demand for the other will rise. Why? Because when the price of, let's say, moo milk increase, people are going to buy less moo milk and they're going to buy more Nestle milk, which means when the price of moo milk increase, the demand for Nestle milk will also increase. Now, if the goods are complementary goods, A's demand will fall as B's prices rise. So if it's a complementary good like coffee and creamer, when the price of coffee increase, that's going to have a negative effect on the demand for creamer. Right? Now, in terms of the determinants of cross elasticity of demand, some of the same determinants of price elasticity of demand are also the determinants of cross elasticity of demand. And we interpret cross elasticity of demand in the very same way that we interpret the other elasticities. If it's greater than 1, it's elastic; less than 1, it's inelastic; equal to 1, unit elasticity; equal to 0, perfectly inelastic; equal to infinity, perfectly elastic. So we interpret it in the very same way. So thus far we have looked at what is elasticity. Elasticity measures the responsiveness of the change in one variable. How does one variable respond when there's a change in another variable? Then we look at price elasticity of demand, which is the responsiveness of demand to a change in price. Supply elasticity of demand, which is the responsiveness of supply to a change in price. Income elasticity of demand, which is the responsiveness of demand to a change in income. Point elasticity, which is measuring elasticity at one point on the demand curve. Arc elasticity, which is measuring elasticity between 2 points on the demand curve. Cross elasticity of demand, which measures the responsiveness of the change in a quantity demanded of one good to a change in the price of another good. I do hope that you would have enjoyed this class. I know it has some calculations. If you have any questions or queries, please do not hesitate to post it for me in the question and answer section, or meet me during office hours, or you can send me an email. Do have a blessed week. Bye.